Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So it's Thursday, which is Crisis Thursday. We don't really know what's going on Thursdays anymore, although I think in coming weeks I'm hoping to have this be viewer submitted decks Thursday, because I get a lot of sweet decks sent in from people, so hopefully we can start showing some of those off on Thursdays. But today, we're going to head to the land of Pauper for a deck that is super sweet. I don't play that much Pauper, but this deck kind of makes me want to play Pauper, because it looks like a great way to make opponents absolutely miserable. This is Sultai Land Destruction. Comes to us from Methodical, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a Pauper League on Magic Online. So congrats to Methodical on their finish with the deck. A quick reminder before we break down Sultai Land Destruction for Pauper. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So, Sultai Land Destruction is built around blowing up opponent's land. So we have a ton of cards that just straight up kill a land. We start on 3 mana with Thermocrossed, which destroys a land. If it happens to be snow covered, we gain a life. That's not super relevant. Just a green stone rain, essentially. Mulvani Acid Moss not only lets us blow up one of our opponent's lands, but lets us tutor up a forest, which is super key because it lets us have 6 mana, which leads us to a bunch of other land destruction we have in our deck, like Mold Shambler, for example. So Mold Shambler, a bit expensive, but it's a land destruction spell, can also hit other non-creatures, but in our deck we're mostly going after lands that also leaves behind a 3/3 body. We do have to kick it, so 6 mana is a lot, but you can kind of see the curve developing. On turn 3, blow up a land. On turn 4, Acid Moss blows up a land, gets us to 6 mana on turn 5 for Mold Shambler to blow up a land. So we're really taxing our opponent's mana pretty severely starting on turn 3. We also have some non-land destruction spells. So Temporal Springs doesn't actually say destroy a land. It says put a permanent on top of its opponent's library, which can actually be more annoying than actually just destroying a land. So the idea here, this is essentially another 3 mana land destruction spell. It doesn't get rid of the land forever, but it makes our opponent skip a draw because they're going to be drawing that land again the next turn, which is probably going to make them pretty unhappy, and it really slows our opponent down. And then Dinrova Horror, kind of the same thing. We can bounce any permanent. We also make our opponent discard a card. So it is a straight up land destruction spell if our opponent's empty-handed. We bounce the permanent, opponent has to discard it. Nice thing about Horror is it's big, and it's actually our finisher as well as a 4/4 for 6, which remember, we're in the world of Pauper, of all commons, and a 4/4 for 6 is actually a pretty big deal in the Pauper format. Also can deal with other things, like we can bounce a creature, opponent's empty-handed, they have to discard that creature, so lots of value from Dinrova Horror, but it also just gives us another way to tax our opponent land. So we have multiple, 8 total 3 mana land destructions / put on top of your library spells. Then we have our 4 mana Ramp Sense land destruction spell. Then we have 8 6 mana land destruction spells. So we are just going after our opponent's land turn after turn after turn, hoping that that just grinds them out of the game. The other key part of the deck is card draw. So we want to be able to keep cycling through our deck, finding more land destruction. Land destruction is at its best when you can do it every single turn, where you're just always putting a land on top of your opponent's deck, always destroying a land, because if you start missing turns, then they can rebuild their mana base, then they can start playing things. So Seagate Oracle and Mulldrifter, more creatures that we can use to win the game, also draw us cards, keep us finding our land destruction spells. Coiling Oracle is either a ramp spell for turn 2 if we happen to hit a land, or it's a card draw spell, which is fine as well. So it does 2 things we really want it to do. We also have some other straightforward ramp. 2 Golgari Signets, 2 Mind Stones. This just helps us get to our big, expensive land destruction spells, our finisher land destruction spells, a little bit faster. We can always cash in Mind Stone to draw a card if we need to. Otherwise, a couple of Condescends is a counter that also lets us scry, and that is pretty much the main deck. Mana base-wise, we get a ton of Pauper duels. The Bounce Land, Simic Growth Chamber, the tapped Game Land, Thornwood Falls. Ash Barrens can cycle for whatever whatever color of mana we need, along with Evolving Wilds. Then we have the basic lands, which are key because we have the Ash Barrens, because we have Evolving Wilds. We want to make sure we have enough basics to be tutoring things up with those. Sideboard-wise, we get some counters, and then we wrap things up with a bunch removal. Echoing Decay gets rid of small things, multiple things with the same name. Scattershot Archer for flyers and delvers and fairies, which are popular in the Pauper format. Nature's Claim for artifacts and enchantments, and then Doomblade just gets rid of pretty much anything we need to kill. And that is Sultai Land Destruction for Pauper, and that's our instant deck tech for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.